Kaum im Osten, kaum ist uns vor Bildern Russenschall.
Hello there everyone, and welcome to another uniform video. This time around we find ourselves in World War I on the Eastern Front during winter. This is what hell looks like when it freezes over, or I imagine most soldiers thought so over on the Eastern Front. So I've never actually tested this overcoat in proper winter condition with snow out, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that. And since I am a Prussian influencer, I thought I'd go ahead and share this experience with you. So far, even now with the coat open, I found it. I shouldn't mention here that of course we've got pretty sunny weather and it's not too cold. I believe when I left home it was -4 degrees centigrade, so it's not that bad to say. So I mean, it's not like extreme conditions I'm testing this out in, but then again, I'm not that, I mean, this is not a survival channel, is it? So we're not gonna go that far. But anyways, I thought I'd show you this and show some other winter stuff I have and just show off the uniform. It has been quite a while since I've done that, and get some cool views out here in the snow. Let's start by showing you what's on my belt and how I'm gonna put it around my waist. It's not that complicated, but I'll show you. So we'll start off with this, the early World War I version of the German belt. So we've got the ammo pouches and we got the belt, both in brown, as the order to blacken them hasn't come yet. And over here, the belt buckle is in a very shiny brass. You can understand that later on this would be phased out. Now normally on your jacket, when you don't have the winter coat, you fasten it by hooks in the back here. So you hang it on these hooks. I don't know if it's not a good way to show you this, but on the back there's these hooks. There you go. There's these hooks which hooks on the belt. Now of course, if you got coat on, how are you gonna hook the belt? Well, they made a little hole in the side. I think you can see it. It's going to be rather fiddly, what's it called? It's going to be difficult. Someone in the comments will write out what I'm trying to say in English. So you can see how it actually lines up perfectly with that. So I can hang the belt on there. So there we go for the start. It wasn't really super clear out there in the snow what I was doing, so I'm gonna show it close up to make it a lot more easier for you guys to understand what's going on in terms of these hooks. So there are in fact 4 of them. We've got the 2 main ones, the bigger ones over there, and these ones a little bit more for show, but they definitely do aid. And so what you want to do is you want to have your belt something like that, so it's supported by the waist of the jacket. And this is what it looks like with the overcoat draped on it, and you can see this protruding then through the hole made in the overcoat. Next up, we're gonna put this on the belt. The bread bag, where I've got all sorts of nice knickknacks. In this case I have nothing, because the quartermaster didn't like me, so I didn't get anything, and then my family at home, they don't like me either, so that's why it's completely empty, and I'm poor, I guess, so nothing. There's nothing in the bag right now. Maybe some crumbs of some sort. We'll look at that later. Anyways, the bread bag goes on, to hang then later on covering my ass. Although it's probably better if I have some of my comrades. Now I don't have any, but probably better them covering my ass than just a bread bag. It's not a bullet resistant. Then, hooked on to the bread bag, we've got the water bottle. Now I don't have any water in this, because of previous stated reasons. Also, I wasn't going to drink any water out here when I was doing this showcase, and I'm pretty sure it would freeze to ice. Probably not that useful to me standing around with this. So there we go. That's going on the belt. And after that's on, we're going to put on this. We're going to put on the bayonet and the entrenching tool. Now, in war games, you're probably quite familiar with the bayonet and the use of the bayonet. But, in actual fact, what a soldier would most likely, not necessarily, I mean, they would use this in battle as well, now when I think about it, but a soldier's life revolves mostly around digging. So, even though you'll run around in Battlefield 1 whacking people with your shovel, in most cases, you would be standing around digging with it. Maybe not as fun, but at least there's not any risk of your head getting cracked in. Except, of course, for the bloody artillery. They keep dropping on us all the time. So there we go. The bayonet. Also, notice how it's way too long to be used in a trench, but that's why we're on the eastern front. The Russians. We fight in the open mostly against them, or, well, as of yet anyways. We've got them running. So we still cling on to the idea of big bayonet charges in open field. Although, this is not very useful though, and it's very unlikely I'll cut anyone with it. It seems as though I'm not entirely alone in the forest. And there we are, the belt is on. It's quite difficult actually getting it on yourself, and I've also now realized that I'm missing something. The bread bag straps, which would actually help me to hold the belt up. As I forgot the bread bag straps when I was outside in the snow, I thought I'd go ahead and show them now. You can see them there lying on top of the jacket. So you've got these straps with these that will hook in to a little loop on the top of the ammo pouches. And then you would wear it like that, behind your neck. I've seemed to have forgot it, or I hope I have, because I haven't found it here in the snow anywhere, so I hope that I've just lost it at home. Now, I've got another thing. It's starting to become a little chilly around the face. The hat is a little bit better than the helmet, of course, but I'm gonna make it even better to stand up to the cold. And for that purpose, I've got this. I believe it's called a torque. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it, but basically what it is kind of like, I don't know what to compare it to. But it's a tube It's a tube, usually would be knitted. So it's a tube like this. Let's see. And you wear it on your head. Sort of like this. I'd probably put it on first actually, so I can properly tuck it down in the sides here and in the back. And then you would just pull it up like this. And suddenly I'm covering most of my head. And it fits with the hat, as we can see here, but it would also work with the helmet. So why don't we try that out as well? And there you go. In this case, my helmet is just precisely kind of so it fits on my head, and with a little bit of extra here by the cloth, makes it a little bit uncomfortable to actually wear. I think it looks rather good, doesn't it? Doesn't it look as though I've been out here in the cold fighting against the Russians for quite some time? And I think that's all really I wanted to say and show. Why don't I just go ahead and get some views of me walking around here. As you can see, I've definitely put the winter wear to the test, throwing myself back and forth here through the snow in the cold, and it's holding up surprisingly well. The only thing that I can think of now is the fact that I brought way too thin socks. That's only about the only thing. And then I was possibly also worried about the boots, if they were gonna be resist the snow, whereas it melts, if it would be waterproof. And it's proven quite well, in fact. Of course, they're not that warm, so yeah, you definitely need to prepare by getting better socks than what I did.